In the name of God, Bismillah. This week was supposed to be the week where all is supposed to be quiet on the antipodal front as far as Facebook is concerned. For those of you who are not in Australia or know about Australian news, there's a big brouhaha and spat between Facebook and the Australian government and the Murdochracy, the Murdoch press here in Australia, wherein Mr. Mark Zuckerberg has basically shut down every conceivable news portal, local and international, on Facebook to Australians. Now, just on that bit of news alone, I would make this short podcast, but I wanted to draw people's attention to the following very bizarre fact. At a time when, the Australian government and Facebook and the Murdoch press are, just in a real brawl, a real brawl against each other, and Mr. Zuckerberg has shut everything down. How is it possible that Maziar Bahari's Iranwire, both the English Iranwire and the Persian language Iranwire, are still operating unimpeded on Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook shut down all kinds of pages to Australians. They even shut down all kinds of government pages. They shut down local government pages, pages that had to do with the monitoring of COVID. Every conceivable news portal, anything that has to do with news, whether international or local, as of last week, early last week, was shut by Facebook to Australia as a whole, but not Iranwire. And Iranwire is a Baha'i-funded propaganda site, pro-regime change, a site that has been promoting every conceivable form of black propaganda imaginable against Iran, going on several years now, but a site that is prominently pushing Baha'i talking points and false Baha'i propaganda relentlessly. And Facebook has done nothing, nada, jack, diddly squat to shut that page down from Australia, right? Now everybody else, can access it, and as they should, because there's no other issue that Facebook has with, or they have a lot of issues with all kinds of places. But in this particular instance, most other countries don't have the kind of legislation that the Tories in this country have tried to ram through Parliament, forcing Facebook and other big tech companies like Google to pay, these news services owned all, by the way, by Rupert Murdoch, money. Now, all of these have been shut down. But Iranwire, Maziar Bahari, the guy in the pocket of the Baha'i organization, and his site, Iranwire, is running. I want an explanation for this. Somebody needs to give me, or anybody needs to give us an explanation. How is this possible? How is this possible? How is this possible? Everything has been shut down here in Australia by Facebook. Every news, international and local news. Let me say it again. Every international and local news has been shut down as of the week of February in Australia, beginning on the 15th, Monday the 15th, right? I think it was about Tuesday morning when we all woke up here in this country to realize that all of the news portals on Facebook had been shut down by Zuckerberg, right? But Iranwire, Baha'i propaganda site, black propaganda site, is running. So who is yanking, number one, Iranwire's chain? Who is yanking Facebook's chain around this issue of keeping Iranwire going? Or there's another possibility here, perhaps, and this is actually quite an interesting issue. Perhaps Facebook doesn't consider Iranwire to actually be news. Now, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be an admission by Facebook that because they have not taken this particular site down and left it intact for viewers all over the world, and particularly here in the Antipodes, to continue to look at this garbage that these people incessantly spew out as black propaganda against Iran, perhaps Zuckerberg and his company do not actually consider it to be news, and that is why they have left it as it is. And this is the way it is. People are welcome here in Australia to take a look at what I'm saying. I will put a link in the description box to the Iranwire page on Facebook, and also once it is uploaded to Facebook itself on Facebook, people can go check it out for themselves and then go compare to see how many other pages of news, international and local, no longer can be accessed from Australia. Very strange, very weird, but as we say in Persian, the tale of the rooster. La hoja ila aliyan qabla nabil.